Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for May 5th and 6th, 2020. How are you doing? Sorry about that noise at the beginning. Wow, the energy today is off the charts. Are you feeling it? It's like we're about to just pop out of our seed pod. It's really quite a culmination today. Cinco de Mayo, happy Cinco de Mayo. 5/5, May 5th, a huge turning point for humanity. We're just on the verge of this north node shift, the north node, the nodes of the moon shifting signs. And the nodes of the moon, even though they're not an actual planet, it's like a point in space, but it's about our direction, right? Like it's about where we're heading, what we're doing, where we're going. And that is shifting. And it's a really strange time and place. And I think that the message here is around taking advantage of the strangeness. Because here we are smack dab in the middle of the first of three Venus in square to Neptune transits, the second of which happens later this month, 20th to the 22nd, the third of which happens at the end of July. This is the chapter we're in right now, and this is the official start of this chapter. And it's a new chapter. It's an unknown. We can't see what's around the bend. And it's very uncomfortable, especially for, look at all of us, right? Our lives have just been completely disrupted. Now we're starting to figure out that disruption, this attack on our way of life, of our connection, of our economy, our ability to provide for ourselves, has been based on lies. And so it's a very uncomfortable feeling. Do you know that feeling when you figure out you've been manipulated, And here we are. And it's an interesting thing because it's like, okay, wow, humanity's waking up. Maybe this is what this is about. And then maybe it's worth it, right? To go down this dark road for us to wake up to a bigger spiritual truth, And that is this energy of Venus square Neptune. It's about trying to bridge our everyday world to the higher spiritual reality of this new dream we want to dream, this higher love, this reason why we're here on the planet, And maybe that's part of this, like our economy kind of, because that's not who we are. We've been living a lie. And of course, we have to live that lie to continue to survive. And now the lie is being taken from us. And it's like, but it's like we are at such a powerful moment, because when you know exactly what lies ahead and everything you want to do and your life's all mapped out and planned out, which is a luxury we thought we had, right? Which never really works out. The way you think it's going to, right? But the more rigid you are and like knowing exactly who you are, where you're going, what you're doing, the magic can't come in, right? And this is this energy of exploring and of Gemini and the Gemini Sagittarius axis of like this new chapter we're leading into with the nodes, and Venus about to take retrograde in Gemini. We'll spend 4 months total in Gemini. So we got to kind of look at this energy, it's like we're in the soup of this, because Venus is like just our everyday experience and of love, what we want, what we value. And that's all up in the air right now. And Gemini doesn't know what's going. Gemini is like, can be all over the place, right? It's like a mutable air. Air is all over the place and mutable, can't decide. And it's like, and so then Venus retrograde, that's the whole energy of Venus retrograde, is I don't know what I want, So, but it kind of fits to have this experience on the heels of this whole virus situation, because this is kind of where we're at, And what we're being asked to do today on this epic moment in time where we have this Venus square Neptune exact, Sun Mercury conjunction exact. We also have an exact semi-sextile, minor transit, but very important with Mars and Pluto. Pluto in Capricorn, Mars in Aquarius, right? They're in relationship exact today. Exact Mercury Sun conjunction, exact Venus square Neptune. So we've got total confusion with Venus square Neptune. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want. I don't know where I'm going. But it's about rearranging to a higher spiritual path. That's what this is about, right? And then we've got the Sun and Mercury, like that's also like total rearranging of our perspective, who we thought we were, what we're doing, who we are and what we're doing, and why. That's this Mercury and Taurus, Sun, Mercury and Taurus coming up on this Scorpio full moon, okay? So the Scorpio full moon, it's going to be like a culmination of these transits we're feeling exact today. And it just feels like we're on the verge of this turning, right? The turning has an energy of a very uncomfortable, sick to your stomach. You don't know what lies ahead, but it doesn't look good. It's like waking up to this nightmare. Like if you open your eyes, if you're going to open your eyes right now in the world, you have to see a lot of garbage. If you want to wake up right now, you have to see a lot of dark feelings, like we were talking about being manipulated and about being lied to. And, then it makes you, when you have a situation like this in your life, it makes you question everything, and that's part of it, right? Part of the whole agenda, especially attacking empath souls, light worker souls in the narcissist type relationships. It's not so much, the relationship itself can be abusive, but the aftermath of relationship is really where the problem lies, because you question everything. And it's the whole idea is to get you to not trust yourself, disconnect from yourself, disconnect from your true path and purpose, disconnect from your intuition, which is your greatest gift, right? And it's like, maybe that's this thing. It's like this attack on the greatest gift. And that's exactly what this is going on in the world right now, because this social distancing and masking is an attack on humanity's greatest gift, which is human connection. That's what this full moon in Scorpio is bringing out to the surface. And this yearning for connection, the fact that that's our healing, that's our truth, that's what makes humans human. That's how humans thrive and survive. And that's been directly attacked, right? Now, say you're going to wake up and you have to look at the bad nightmare in order to get to the new dream, right? Most people, this is a weird place right now, right? Because it's like right there in our faces, how just the lies and deceit. And, but at the same time, I feel that people, like the main, masses of people are kind of going, they're like cracking open their eyelids and then be like, shut those down. I don't want to see this. If that's what I have to look at, I'd rather stay in the delusion. I'd rather stay in the lies. Right? I'd rather just think this is an actual pandemic and go and be in that fear and controllable fear place than face the fact that I've been lied to for years by the people I thought I could trust the most. It's a very uncomfortable place, and it exactly fits Venus square Neptune. But now we have to talk about this Gemini energy and the Sagittarius South Node coming in, and the Gemini is trying to rearrange your thinking. And this is the message that's coming in. It's not going to be clear right now. It's not about being clear, right? Maybe at the end of July, but we are being asked to. So I'm seeing a picture of these timeline war, basically, right? And a vibrational war. And we know this. We know we've been struggling. We had really great kind of the dismantling of the lower matrix, and then this kind of crisis energy coming in, trying to pull us back into the lower matrix. But we got a sense that we know what's out there with the higher vibrational frequencies and outside of quarantine. And now we're being asked to, it's like, we can't, as long as we're in the fear energy and clinging, trying to figure it out, being in the lower mental psychology of it all, we can't allow the magic to come in, which is that divine higher timeline, the higher love that's trying to work with us, right? And it's really hard because it's that whole thing of like, I got to let go of that old structural way of thinking, being in the world, and that sinking ship in order to let the new come in. And then the Venus square Neptune is like, it's like impossible to tell what is programming and deceit and deception and what's the divine trying to work with you and support you, right? And it's just like, I mean, it's interesting because we've got that sick to our stomach feeling of facing truths and being manipulated. And then we've got the butterfly thing of like, can I make the leap? Right? Like, it's like the darkest dark, but right outside is this new paradigm that wants to hold you, carry you, support you, but it's 180 degrees from where you've been with the lower vibrational frequencies keeping you, under the water. And maybe that's this energy of the Scorpio full moon. It's like that cork, wants to just, is being held down, and the force of that cork wanting to just get, jump out of that delusion and into the greater, wider spiritual truths. And that's where we need to use this Venus square Neptune, get out of our psychological brain and be in the energy of the higher dream, the higher love, and constantly bring yourself back over these next couple of days. It's one of those crucial periods of time, right? Where we really need to be present with the bigger picture of why we're here and bring our energy online, because this is what you came for, right? And to hold that higher ideal, the highest ideal, to hold the vibration of what you came here to create, which is, of course, we just have messages everywhere being that's impossible. We're going to mass control. We're going to police state. We're going to mass vaccinations. That's not what's happening. It's like, no, that is what's happening. And we've been held back far too long. There is massive amounts of light workers on the planet right now that are waking up to who they really are. And now it's time to do it. Like, right, why not now, right? To step in right here, today, tomorrow, the next day, of being like, I'm here for this. I am here for this. And you guys can go be wherever you need to be. I'm here at the party, right? At the higher love, at the bigger spiritual energy. And it's like this, it's interesting getting a sense of the South Node moving into Sagittarius, because the South Node is like, it's holding us back from the past karmically. But it's also resolving these Sagittarius issues from the past is about getting back on our spiritual quest, about getting that arrow and shooting it off, right, into the future, the direction, the will, the spiritual will. And that's kind of this Venus square Neptune. It's like you have to take that little bit of knowing in your heart that you went through all you went through to be right here, right now. And you didn't be right here, right now to go into tyranny, right? Like, you came here right now to set people free, to be free. And that starts with you in your psychological mind, your higher vibrational frequency. And it's like one of those, just this time. So very powerful, very intense. This day is off the charts. And let's talk about that Mars, so we've got Pluto in Capricorn at 24 degrees, retrograde now. Mars at 24 degrees Aquarius, the next sign over. And it's like this a semi-sextile. And that's just 30 degrees. But the energy of that is like, let's figure this out. Let's work together. So Mars says, we got to move into the new age. Pluto's retrograde now. Pluto's kind of like, I tried to redo the structures and nobody's having it, Like, they want the old ship. They want the old sinking ship, right? And Mars is going, well, let's figure this out here. Like, what needs to happen? What goes on? Then, of course, it points right to that Venus square Neptune. We've got to come out of delusions of the nightmare to get to the dream. And so that's where we're at. And you being in the dream, in your higher spiritual purpose, which isn't a thing or a manifest or a thing often right now, it's an energy. First vibration, then reality is created, right? First energy, then physical form. And you got to be in that energy. And as much as you can for the next 48 hours to be in the energy of what you came here for and everything, why you've gone through, everything you've gone through, to be in this higher vibrational frequency, in the image of stepping through into this new dawn, into this new era, this new age, this new paradigm that's waiting for us. And you get to lead the way. It's not easy, but think of how great it's going to be on when you can fully step over. Right now, it's just a taste, but it's like it's this energy of this timeline war, right? And you're here. So a lot of these souls that I work with timelines when you're not in a body, you know? And then it's very frustrating to be stuck in this dimensional frequency, and this is all your consciousness can access. This is the only car you get to drive. And you have these huge abilities to work on multidimensional energies. And then you feel responsible, but you can't do anything about it. Oh man, so uncomfortable. But we can do something about it, because you can just step into that future self, the truth of who you are and what you're really here to create, what we've already done, and we've already won. And that's your marching orders for the next 48 hours, as much as possible, to go to that ceremonial place, go to that place inside of you, that oneness, that truth of spirit that you've been waiting for lifetimes and these lower karmic relationships to validate, and they never will do that. Right. And then it's kind of like part of that coming out of the delusion and the manipulation of the lower relationships is like, oh, I can't believe I was looking for this here. Right. And it's like, how can I find it in this world until I find it here? And then being like, oh, the whole agenda was to keep me from this. Wow. There's a lot of resources that have gone in to keep you from who you are. So you must be really powerful and have a lot to offer right here, right now, by stepping into your truth, just moment by moment, into the love in your heart, the higher love, this Venus, Neptune bridge. I'm seeing like a beautiful grid, flower of life grid bridge here of the higher spiritual realities and our everyday life. This is what's trying to happen. And the oneness principle, what happens when we just live from that place? Take the mask off, take the mask off, touch each other, be together, and win the human revolution. Take back our planet. Okay, so hang in there. Be present. I hope to see you at that live activation, huge energy of culmination for the Scorpio full moon tomorrow. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. That's exactly 12 hours before the actual full moon in Scorpio. Gives us some time to just set some energy, get in the energy of it, and really hold space for this new dream that we're creating, and which lives already behind the veil of delusion. So thanks so much for being here, being you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next update and hopefully on that full moon activation. Until then, Adrienne Elise, namaste.